listening to the Mothership Connection, your cosmic link to the other side.
All right, welcome to the Mothership Connection. I'm your host, Greg DeGuire. To my left, to your right, is Carrie Turner, our Millennial Falcon.
Carrie, got that right.
Yeah, I got it right, yeah. Carrie, we still have guests with us. Would you
Yes,
like to introduce our guests still from last show?
because he forgets, and they've been here for 2 hours already. No, this is Mimi, the lead singer of Resistance, and Josh, the bassist of Resistance.
Thank you for being on the show again.
I was on the prom court when I was in high school, so I know how this goes.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Oh, did you win?
I mean, I was the junior.
You were in
I was
it.
a junior attendant. Yes.
Nice. Felt like a sergeant in arms.
Yeah. It was a decorative title, I think. Really.
Voted by peers, right? That means...
Voted by the football team.
Oh well.
So.
That's curious. Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. So last episode we had the great debate: CDs versus digital. And I think we come out pretty even on that one. Yes, digital is going to be the way, but I think CDs, we've all agreed, are still a good way. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with them this particular episode. We're going to dive into some fun pop culture-y type stuff. But before we get into that, I usually have a round-robin lightning round of questions. Before we do that, when you guys started the band, what were your influences? What music do you personally like to listen to when you're not listening to your own? What got you? What did you listen to that got you to this point?
So my
There's
first,
probably a lot.
my first band ever that I was in was I was the lead singer of a Beatles cover band.
Aww.
Nice.
So I got fired. Yeah.
For doing what?
Not being
For not being
not
John
being good
Lennon.
enough. Not being
Or
good
Paul
enough.
McCartney.
But I
Being a guy.
So
Paul McCartney.
that was cool for me because I'm a huge Beatles freak. Yeah,
And
right.
That was bad.
Real quick before this episode's over, I got some Beatles stuff I want to throw your way to get your input on it. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Continue.
Cool. But I always like to say like my turn into because I grew up in a really small town up north in the Northwoods.
Up north,
in Wisconsin, on a farm,
In Wisconsin.
where everyone listens to country music, which I never particularly liked that much, and now I'm really not a fan. But then I wasn't really, some like '90s country and stuff. But and the Beach Boys, my dad listened to the Beach Boys a lot.
My grandpa got to see them live.
I love that. I saw them a while back, but there's only like one original member. But John Stamos was drumming for them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that
So
was
that's where-
amazing.
Jesse,
I
yeah.
love it.
And he sang the song that he wrote for Rebecca in
Full House.
Forever. The one that he gets super popular with in Korea. Anyways,
Oh,
he
I
sang
love
that.
it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Ah.
This is pop culture, whatever.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
really
singing
cool.
Full House,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Me and my friend were like fangirling her to die.
I
We're
would
like,
too.
oh my God.
You know, John Stamos started on soap operas. He was on General Hospital. His
Oh my
character's
God.
name was Blackie.
He's got the hair.
It's 'cause of the hair.
That's
For
true.
sure,
Yeah.
You guys got it.
But sorry. Okay. Anyways,
Like me.
I digress. I am a huge Audioslave fan. That was one of my when I was young and I finally like started taking the turn into like rock and hard rock. My friend for my 13th birthday got me an Audioslave album, and that was like my first real taste of rock and like hard rock. So from there, I was always a big Chris Cornell fan. I love pop music too. Love boy bands like old school
Backstreet
boy
Boys.
bands, not like One Direction, no offense, but Backstreet Boys,
Backstreet Boys,
Spice Girls,
NSYNC.
NSYNC.
They're
Spice
good.
Girls.
They're
Yeah.
fun.
I still love them.
No, I'm with you.
I love pop, but
They're
I do
fun.
love like vocalists like Adele and Rihanna,
Lady Gaga, Kesha's
yes.
good.
And then more recently, because like I feel like you and Scott have influenced me a lot. Like my first taste at metal and old school metal was you with Nonpoint. When back in the day when I started the band, they took me like, hey, you want to go to a Nonpoint show? And I was really fresh in the band, so I just wanted to be cool and be like, yeah, let's go. And
I'm
I
down.
and I
Little do
know
you know.
I never had like really any exposure to metal at all. And we went to the rave, and they hadn't sold out the big room, so it was in the,
Okay.
Oh, nice.
so it was like super
It's
intimate,
personal,
and it was
yeah.
otherwise open for them, and that was amazing too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm like going from like pop princess to like I really like I consider myself a metalhead now.
I like
Nice.
that range actually.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
good.
a good range.
I love Foreigners, one of my favorite bands of all
My
time.
mom saw them. They're really good.
Old school vocalists like that can sing like that, and like the Eagles, they just oh gosh, the harmony.
Lion Eyes is one of my favorite songs ever.
Gosh, it's amazing.
I'm not quite as across the board.
Come on, you like
give-
Backstreet Boys.
Well, yeah, give me some
He
Backstreet
likes
anytime.
especially 98 Degrees.
98 Degrees,
Yeah.
Backstreet
I was
Boys
never
for
into
music.
them. Though.
No, right? Because they're the
Whatever.
worst.
Offspring for me.
Yes.
Motley Crue.
Yes.
Are
Are you sure?
I mean,
I know.
yeah. Offspring, Motley Crue. I mean, I was a huge Audio Slave fan as well. I love metal as well. I like the span the genres of hard rock and metal, and that's really where I'm. Pink Floyd though is my kind of out of character one out of all that.
Have you ever done Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon and watched it with Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was a freshman at Eau Claire, they actually had that. They like put those two things together as like
Oh.
It's
a
uncanny.
student event.
It's uncanny.
It was awesome, and I wasn't even stoned at all.
You don't need. Yeah, you don't need to be. It matches up so ridiculously well.
That's so bizarre.
At the so those of you who haven't tried this, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon lines up with the first half of Wizard of Oz, song for song. Song changes, screen changes, shot changes.
When does it go up until again?
It goes up until Dorothy gets up to the Tin Man and she's knocking on his chest,
That's
and
far
she goes into hear me, and because the album ends with a heartbeat.
Oh.
What?
And so at the third lion's roar, the MGM lion.
I've heard this. But...
You hit mute and you hit play instantaneously at the third lion's roar. You just sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane. And Pink Floyd claims that they had, oh really? It matched up? Well, we didn't know. Anyways.
Money comes on when it goes to color.
As soon as it goes to color,
black, white,
ching.
color, ching, money
Yeah.
comes on.
Oh.
It's really sweet.
When the Wicked Witch, Mrs. Gulch, before she turns the Wicked Witch, she takes Toto, and the song lyric is taking away the moments that break up a dull day.
Wow.
And of course, the dog breaks up moments of a dull day, so she's getting the dog
That's
away.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's cool. I gotta
yeah,
watch it.
it's messed up.
Sounds
The whole house in the tornado scene, there's just a lot of melodic voices. It
Wow.
Yeah.
matches up.
Yep.
It's so
awesome.
weird. Need to be done. Needs to be done.
Yes.
All right, so ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What was your first concert?
It was REO Speedwagon with Styx, but it was a county fair and it was outside in the big like aluminum
Nice.
shell. But it was storming, right? It was at the Minnesota State Fair.
Minnesota.
Yeah, and because I'm from up north, so we're really close to Minnesota.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was storming like with lightning, so they had to evacuate. So I got to see about 5 songs of REO, and then like never let us back in to see because it was they couldn't like let us like roast with the lightning, so so that was kind of a bummer. So
Apparently,
I saw
yeah.
about 5 songs.
Country Thunder,
But
they
REO was
could.
cool.
Right.
My aunt took me. She was always the one to educate me in like rock and roll, and
Nice.
she would quiz me when she would take me and we would go shopping and stuff. She would, to make sure that I was, educated in good music. She would quiz me on who was on the radio, and she listened to all the like classic rock
Wow.
stations. Sherry.
Yeah.
And she's the one who took me my first concert.
I like
Nice.
that. My mom used to do that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
All right, next first concert. Hit me.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at Six Flags Great America. It was awesome.
It's probably a musical at one of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like they had a stunt show and like they played instruments
They did?
in costume.
Who was
like,
your favorite member?
Yeah, who's your
Michelangelo.
favorite character?
Michelangelo. Yeah, I mean,
Doy.
yeah, Pizza. He was like the cool guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, I always wanted to be Leonardo, but I always liked Michelangelo. He was a lot more fun.
Right.
Raphael took it way too seriously.
And
Donatello's brains kind of intimidated me a little
Yeah.
bit. He's too
Yeah.
smart for my own good.
It's like the TV trope for like every quartet or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so what's your favorite band right now, other than yourselves? What's your favorite band right now?
Are we talking local or like?
Doesn't matter. Pick one.
Well, I mean, I'm a huge Hailstorm fan. Liz
Mhm.
Hale is like my hero. So.
Okay.
I've been listening to a lot of Avenged Sevenfold for a while now,
Okay.
and Nonpoint is high on my list always. So those two, and then I've had we saw this band called Sumo Psycho at Route 20. They're a Canadian band. They
Yeah.
opened for Nonpoint, and I've had their
It was
CD in my car for like
awesome.
the past 2 months, and
Yeah.
they're pretty impressive too.
I have
Pretty cool.
broadcaster stuck in my head right now.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
going to lead into the next question. What's in your car right now to listen to? What was the last song you heard when you got here today?
Alright, that's a terrible question.
Wait, what was it?
It was that song that Dio Lupa, is that the name?
Oh yeah. It's about, I changed the station because we were listening. I felt like some pop music, so the station was not good though. You know where it's like a shuffle one? It was an Amazon one.
Oh.
It's funny how the Pandora station of an artist and the Amazon one differ so greatly. I'm like, crap.
And Pandora's like amazing.
It depends. Pandora
Really?
has really bad days sometimes where I'm like, and with Amazon you can skip as much as you want, which is nice. But anyways, yeah, it was New Rules. Yeah, it's
Before that, though, we made a point to listen to the new non-point signal
Yes.
single
Okay.
fixes.
Didn't you guys meet them?
We did. It was
Yeah,
a couple
awesome.
months ago.
Yeah, they were
Nice.
really, really cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
And then we listened to the new Hailstorm single too, which is
Okay.
Do Not Disturb. They were both
Yep.
pretty awesome. So
So the next question we kind of covered a little bit last episode, but of the ways to view or listen to media, what do you prefer? Do you download it or do you buy? And we kind of covered this a little
Like
bit
a
last
concrete
episode. It's a
answer?
little bit of a
Yes.
what's a concrete answer? What's your instant? Oh, something's out, I'm going to buy it. How did you just buy it?
CD.
CD?
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
Especially at a show.
Sure.
Or I've been into like the bundles they do lately, where you get a physical copy and then you get a shirt
Yeah.
and a whatever. Like so, my new one that I'm getting, it's the limited pressed vinyl, and then a shirt, then it comes with the download card, and then it's got some hidden tracks, and I got it's signed by them
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah, so
Cool.
yeah,
Worth it.
pretty excited
Nice.
about
Look
it.
at all those tangible items
It
you
was
can
like
have.
it was like for my birthday. It was my birthday present to myself.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm like pretty stoked.
All right. So same. You're gonna buy a physical copy, yeah?
I'll probably
'Cause now you're a bit of a
if I
mix.
want it, I'm gonna buy it digitally
Okay.
first probably, and then I'm
If
gonna
you
end up
want
buying
it
it.
right
And
away.
then if I want it right
Yeah.
away, I'm gonna do like so.
Yeah,
We talked about it a
that's
little bit
true.
earlier.
Sure,
Like,
yep.
but like if I do Vudu and I want to watch a new movie, I'll go ahead and I'll buy the movie, and then I'll also buy the package where they send me the Blu-ray, so I get the digital
It's just usually
download.
the same
Right.
price,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what Adam was saying in the last
They'll just
episode. That was a
send you
really good point because, like, he plays a lot of video games. So when you buy video games digitally now, it'll like set up to download. It'll download the whole game, but be locked until it's actually released. But once midnight hits, it'll
It's yours right
it'll
away,
be there right away.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the store.
So, which is nice with some of these packages, like the bundles. You get the digital one instantly. It's like first thing at midnight,
Cool.
and then whenever they ship out all the other stuff, you get the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
you get
Combo
both.
style.
Yeah. So that you can not miss a beat with having it, but also
Right.
then when you can, I don't know. I like to have the physical copy.
Sure. Okay. Now comes the question: Star Trek, Star Wars, or other?
For
Which
Favorite.
one's your favorite? And if it's an other, then what's your favorite movie?
I mean, does Harry Potter count? Are we
Of
talking
course
about
it
that?
does.
Okay,
Of
then,
course.
then Harry
Then we're
Potter
gonna call
is
that other. Okay,
other,
Harry Potter.
then other.
If the
And I
shirt
would
doesn't
never
give it away.
realize that she brought a wand and you're wearing a Gryffindor shirt. I never would have guessed that Harry
Right?
Potter
What a
was
stretch! What a stretch!
It's
Way
a
to
stretch.
be,
Yeah.
way to be predictable.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so let's pick on Harry Potter for just a minute.
Sure.
Which one's your favorite? Did you read the books first, or did you see the movies first? Have you read the books at all?
I don't like to admit this. I've never admitted this to anyone out loud except for Josh. I've not read all the books.
It's okay.
I became such a freak because of the movies. Oh, but one of my friends is gonna watch this, and this is like my dark secret.
He's gonna be like,
we're Harry Potter like pals. Like sometimes we won't talk for months, and then he'll just send me a meme.
That's Harry Potter.
Or like one of those Reddit things where it's like this bizarre like what if scenario of a bunch of like fans like having this ridiculous
And it
conversation.
goes on and on.
Yes, like he'll send me those, and it's just like
And mind blown.
yeah. I've never told him that I've not read all the books.
Dobby is Harry's dad. Like,
Well, his mom last year for Christmas got me all the books in hardcover stuff, and I'm like a really slow reader.
so you have the physical.
Well, I've got
copy.
So I've been
the
starting
first
to-
3 illustrated volumes upstairs.
Oh,
the
that's
larger
cool.
ones.
That's amazing.
It's really good. Yeah,
So
they're really good.
I've been working through them now.
Okay.
But,
Then what's your favorite movie? Which number is your favorite? Where do you go to?
It's okay. So we watch them about quarterly.
That's a lie.
And I went over
Way
to their
more than
place
that.
when they were watching
It's
Half
way
Blood
more
Prince.
than
And
that. Yeah.
we have a drinking game to them. So
That was
so
fun.
we'll like we'll start at the beginning and then we'll go all the way through.
Okay.
I really don't know that I can say a favorite. Even though it's not dark and it's still really kiddish, I really love The Chamber of Secrets. I always have.
Second
one of
one's
the
a
ones I
really
watch
good
the
film.
most. They're all great, but
Yeah.
I
That's
also
not
love Prisoner of
Azkaban.
Azkaban a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just because I love Sirius in this like really dark, serious.
He's a
role.
good-
yeah,
It
yeah.
turns out,
Yeah.
like,
I just wanna
So
be
top
responsible
3
as a
favorite
kid.
characters. You got to pick 3. I'm forcing you to pick 3 top favorite characters.
Hagrid. my go-to because the animals like the best. And
Fluffy.
even my favorite before you had this baby.
Oh, looky, he knows who his mummy is.
I mean, all the great animals, and he
Yeah.
has such a heart.
I love
I mean,
him and
just
He's
Felix
good
when we get
people.
drunk.
this big
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
and I mean, just like the death of like a creature is so.
It hurts him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pincers.
And I feel like I relate to that a lot.
Probably
Yeah.
with the pincers. Right.
And then, I mean, I love the core three. I don't know who the other two would be actually.
Fred and George.
I know I'm very pure.
Fred and George.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
They'll
say.
be both of
I
them.
think it probably. Do you think
Okay.
it was one? I would
Jason
probably
Isaacs.
would say. I probably would say the Weasley twins because they're also their imaginative. Like when they come out with that store,
That's
Oh.
what
the
she was
way
going
that they
on
depict.
about it. I
Gosh,
loved it.
I love it so much. It's just incredible. I'm like, if that was a real thing,
I'd be there. I want to work there.
gosh, yes.
Do they have a store for that at Universal?
I'm sure they do.
I have
I'm sure
never
they
been
do.
there.
I don't know how you could pass up the money on that.
They have the giant dragon on Diagon Alley there.
Right, you
I'm
need the
like,
technology to create magic, though. So
And then-
stuff.
You
You guys
know,
ever been there?
Stop ruining things with common sense and fact.
Yeah.
you know, I think Neville would be
Aw.
a
There we
big one
go.
too.
Neville Longbottom.
He's
Yeah.
just,
brave.
he's just like this little, you
Now,
know.
according to the
little
books, he
runt.
should have been the one.
Yeah.
It was a toss up whether or not he or Harry were.
Because
gonna
they have
be
the same
ones.
birthday.
I can
They
see
do. Yep.
that. And also he is the reason that that Voldemort could ever be defeated anyways. If he wouldn't have done what he did, then Harry would be dead.
Yep.
It's all teamwork.
Dead,
Harry
dead.
didn't do this alone. I don't care what the movies tell you. There's no
Harry's
I in
a
team.
bitch.
He
No,
did
that's
everything.
right.
This was
Right.
a united
lot.
front
Oh,
team
yeah.
effort. Yeah.
Really
Over
did.
what?
He's been dead a zillion times. I always laugh at like how
Parents.
He knows he's gonna get out another year.
I always like laugh about how parents keep sending their kids back to Hogwarts.
After all those
Are you
events,
shitting me? A kid almost
died in the
Harry
Triwizard Tournament.
And go back to
Harry
school.
almost
Give him an
died. He
education.
almost dies at least once a movie. At least from
Well,
the beginning.
Voldemort is at Hogwarts every
Well,
year.
no,
Should we
his-
send them back?
His Muggle parents
Kids
don't
start
care.
dying.
I blame the Weasleys for that
Oh,
because they're fully involved with what's happening.
Yeah.
Yet they're still
They're
okay.
in the Order of the
Everyone
Phoenix
keeps
trying to
sending
get
their kids
him.
back. Everyone keeps sending their kids back. Like someone dies there, and they're like, "Oh, my mom gave me a hard time about coming back." Well, yeah.
Your mom would
Do
The
I-
only sensible
No,
person
my
that
mom
said
would
that
like
was
it.
like, wasn't it the part one where it was what's it, Sean or the Flanagan or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where he's
Like he was the only one
talking
that
sh-
was like, oh, my parents told me not
Yeah.
to come, like
yeah,
because of you.
right.
He was the only
That's a
sensible
smart
one.
kid.
Well, that's why. But yet she did send him anyways. That's what
True.
I'm saying. Like your mom gave you a hard time, but here you are. Here you are.
Now, isn't it funny how some film genres will intertwine sometimes? And I'm going to pick on Lord of the Rings for a minute. The one ring to rule them all, is basically a Horcrux.
Yeah.
So I wonder
It is.
if they got an idea for a Horcrux. I don't know if anyone's ever asked J.K. Rowling that. If they have in an interview, I'm sorry, she's done a lot of interviews. But I never really knew how that idea came to fruition. If she got that idea from going over other genres and picking bits in here, or if it was purely out of the noggin.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone either way, but sometimes they circle around each other. And
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was
That's
interesting.
what makes
I
Harry
see a
Potter
lot of
special.
a lot of parallels and a lot of
Harold.
parallels. A
Harold.
lot of
Parallels, yes.
A lot of parallels.
Wait a minute, I gotta write that one. Wait a minute.
We have
So for those of you,
Harold James Potter.
for those of you who don't know, I keep a list of band
He's
names.
watched a lot, Tower. You can tell. Sometimes he'll say stuff, and he'll be like, "Did I just say that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did."
You gotta tell him some of the band
Yeah,
names.
so
Oh.
these band names are a quick turn of phrase. You can't sit and think about that. Don't think about it. It's just words that come out of your mouth in particular ways and phrases. That's what I write down. For example, our band names. Some of them
Trick.
are Phonies, Homeless Children, The Green Olives, Bad Doodlers, Swamp Gas, Magnetized Balls, Pitchforks and Torches, Chimp Trick instead of Cheap Trick, Asbestos You
And
Can.
I came up with that one.
Bestest you
That one
can.
was mine.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm claiming that because
Alien Fart Jokes, Whale Blubber Latte, The Pooper Scoopers.
But like
So,
we've
yeah.
said this in an episode, so this is like something we've said in
Yeah,
our
these are
words.
turn of phrases that
This
come
is my
out.
this is my thing. That
We have
this is what I do.
this is what he does too. So especially
Really?
when
Yeah.
when we were trying to name Resistance, there was like a several month period where like we'd randomly say stuff like in conversation that was just ended up being weird, and then he'd be like, "Great band name."
Yeah.
Great
Right
band
on
name.
the
Yes.
Great band
Yeah,
name.
I was doing this back when this show was on WLIP. I've got a whole notebook full of band names. because it was just funny.
This Cannibal Chicken is going to be
Cannibal
mine.
Chicken?
That's going to be my solo project.
Mine was
Cannibal Chicken.
my best one was Satan's Clam Diggers. That's a good one.
What was TJ Weenies?
TJ Weenies was a good one.
Didn't we come up with a Harry Potter one the other day that we were
Harold.
like, if we were gonna have a side project that was like nerdy?
I will help you with that, by the way.
But like, it was really good, and I can't remember what it was now.
He's like,
Way to
what?
leave the viewers just
I don't know.
wondering, 'cause I have no idea.
All the comments. What did he mean? What was he gonna say? Give us
I
that
don't
name.
know.
All right, so let's move on. Star Trek, Star Wars, or other? What's your poison? Clearly, my opinion's
Motley
biased.
Crue.
I'll go Star Wars. I was raised on Star Wars. I was
Okay.
a big Star Wars fanatic when I was a kid, and not as much now, but I still enjoy it. You know.
Which one was your favorite film? Which one spoke to you?
Empire is the best one.
Good choice.
You know, the new ones are good. I like the new ones.
What do you got for characters? Who do you like? Top 3 characters. Who's your favorite? It could be anybody. Could be Ewok. Could be a Jawa. Doesn't matter.
Jar Jar.
Can it be Warwick Davis
Of
in
course.
Ewok costume?
Yes, it can.
No, well, I mean, Han Solo is number one. Han Solo is cool shit. And then-
Yeah.
Did you see Solo?
No, I have not seen it yet.
He's my generation's Star Lord.
Yeah, he is.
For you Guardians of the Galaxy fans.
Yeah, cool. Doesn't give a shit. He's
No.
great. He's
He
great.
really does not.
It's the thief.
And
Yeah.
he shot first. I don't care what kind
Yeah.
of remake you have.
Yeah,
He wrecked Greedo because he knew Greedo was going to shoot him. He's like, gotcha,
totally
bitch.
agree. Totally agree. I mean, everybody loves Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
I think. So I'll put him on the list. And can I do Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes.
Pretty
He's
awesome.
one of the best.
He's the Star Wars Captain America.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is Captain America. That's my
He's the straw that stirs the drink.
So,
Yeah, good. Okay. Trying to think, what else do we have?
no, we gotta talk about our villain. Oh, you're still doing
We'll get
lightning
there.
rounds?
Yeah, I think there was another. Okay,
Spoiler alert.
as far as then you have to name 3 items in your refrigerator. Go.
Oh my
Ooh, some tofu. Got some zucchinis, and shit tons of cheese.
Shit tons of cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quality items.
Yeah.
It's funny how a unit of measure is now described as a shit ton.
Yeah.
Instead of like a metric ton.
A metric
Yeah.
shit ton is actually would be the European.
Yeah, and I've
one.
already got that as a band name. It's metric shit ton as a band name.
That's a good
Perfect.
one.
It's a good
that's,
band name.
That's really nice.
All right, that's the lightning round.
Perfect because we share a refrigerator.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have other questions that just pop into my head. And I got this idea because when I was on the radio show, I got to interview Dee Wallace. She's the mom from E.T. I met her at a horror convention in
We have that
Milwaukee
whole video
years
on our
ago.
page too.
Yeah,
Nice.
I met her at a convention years ago, and I got a chance to spend time with her because I got a special pass. But before I went there, I watched a bunch of her interviews on YouTube, and I didn't want to ask the same questions. But everyone always asks the same questions for interviews.
Yeah.
So when Victoria was doing her show for Coffin Rock, I always thought, well, let's ask some oddball questions. A shit that nobody asks people. Because nobody ever asked these people, okay, other than E.T., like, what's your favorite movie? Nobody ever asked
Right.
cool questions. So that was the premise behind the
The
so-called lightning
That's
round. Is
cool.
to ask kind of cool questions.
Yeah.
Your
And
truest answers that way too.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's the same questions, and sometimes I'll think of one on the day. But these are like my go-to questions. So thank you for playing the lightning round.
It was good.
Now, I'm in another group on Facebook. It's a group of horror writers. And one of them posed a really great question that I had to sit and think about for a minute. So this was the parameters of the question. The zombie apocalypse has happened. You are on board, but you are with the bad guys. Okay, you're a bad guy. So you have to pick your leader of the bad guys. And the rules were it has to be a bad guy, but if you're going to pick a good guy to be your leader, you got to make a case that the good guy has bad guy tendencies and kind of switch back and forth. But the parameters were it has to be a bad guy, and it could be from TV, it could be from movies, but you have to pick a bad guy to be the leader of your bad guy guys or girls,
It's
whichever
like
the case may
waking
be.
up for the cryogenic pod
Yeah,
and fall
right.
out and going straight to the
And now-
Raiders.
Yeah, I'll take the 3 answers that popped into my head were Khan from Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, not the newer Khan, although I like Cumberbatch, but I think the original Khan was pretty cool. He's a little bit more devious.
He had way
In
better
my
hair
opinion.
too, like
Super bitchin'
feathered
hair.
and
Yeah.
mullety, and he's super
Open
tan.
chest.
Yeah.
Yep. He had
Yeah.
the chain. My second answer was Red Skull from Captain America, and my third answer was Jason Voorhees. It's
Yeah.
perfect to lead the zombie apocalypse because he's kind of a
He
zombie.
already is kind of.
I'm going to say that with a question mark. And he's extremely hard to kill, and he doesn't give a shit. So if you're a teen having sex post zombie apocalypse, you're roasted because you're the ones he goes after first. So be careful.
So be abstinent
during the
every horror movie.
See, that's every horror movie because that's how they tried to curtail preteen or premarital
So
sex.
be abstinent during the zombie apocalypse. And
Yeah, that
it won't
was-
get you.
That was a thing for horror
And the
films
race
because they knew
won't
teens
further
would see
itself
these
either, it'll all
movies.
die
Yeah,
out.
it's true.
So how do we stop teens from
It's
having
like the
sex?
plague
Let's
in,
kill them the first way in. That way, if you're a teen
like a
watching this
message,
movie, it's a
huh?
message.
I
Yeah.
never really thought about that. That's really yeah.
It's an
you're
interesting.
probably right.
All right, so what do you? All right, who wants to? Yeah,
you
go
guys-
for it. Who you want on your team?
Thanos.
Thanos is
With
the
the
leader.
snap of your fingers, half the population just goes.
Well, now you have to preface that
But-
Thanos has the Infinity Stones.
Yes. So
Okay.
if he has all 5 during the zombie apocalypse, but what I was saying is, and we posed this question before too. What if you could choose who you wanna kill?
Yeah, well, let's come back to that because I want to
Okay.
hear their answers too. Let's come. Yeah, we're going to come back to if you could.
You guys-
If Thanos was the leader of your bad guy post-apocalypse, and you had the ability to wipe out half the population with the snap of your fingers, if you could choose who to stay and who to eliminate, we'll circle back to that. So I want to hear some more bad guys as leaders of your troops.
All right. I got 2 in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and no magical powers.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, this could be
you know,
anybody.
These are great villains.
Yeah.
Number 1, well, 1 and 1A. So first one that comes to mind was Jason Isaacs from The Patriot, Colonel Tavington.
Oh,
That
He's
guy was
ruthless.
an asshole. That guy was an
He's
asshole.
absolutely
The worst.
ruthless, and like Mel Gibson. The only thing that beat him was the power of Mel
We're
Gibson.
talking Malfoy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lucius
yeah,
Malfoy.
He's always the biggest.
But not as Lucius Malfoy,
Yeah, but-
because he has
no, I
bitch
understand.
tendencies
Yeah,
as Lucius
he
Malfoy.
does.
Now, he
Sure
played a
does.
good guy in the movie
Sure.
Armageddon. He played a
He was
government
one of the
Yeah.
he was one of like the
He's
dudes on the
he's like
ship.
he usually.
He's a great
I know,
actor.
yeah.
He's a great actor. He's in so many good things.
He's
But
a
he
good
was
character
such,
actor, yeah.
He was such an asshole, and he'd be so ruthless and like.
He killed kids in that film. He don't give
Yeah,
no
he
shit.
burned a
His
church,
kid-
man.
Burned the church,
his
killed
kid
kids.
in front of
Crazy.
him,
It's crazy.
like,
I know.
Oh, yeah.
When I was over at
gosh,
your place,
so
you were like,
good.
"You don't."
And then,
Good
and then the
answer.
second one, this might be a little more controversial, but
Yeah.
I like to, like
Stir the pot.
to really
Okay.
go for it
Do
here, and we'll say Bodhisattva from Point Break.
I don't think he was bad.
He's
I mean,
he's the
was
villain. He
bad.
robbed
You're
banks.
Right. You're right.
Huh.
Right.
He ended up, his whole family ended up dying because of
But then
him.
he just faded
But
out
he
into
was-
the sunset.
But he was a good
Yeah.
tactician, but he was also
'Cause you
very
gotta be
athletic.
clever.
Yeah, you got to be
You gotta have
clever.
a
He
little bit of
was,
smarts. You
he
gotta
was
be
strong,
very clever.
right? Like put him in charge in a zombie apocalypse where he doesn't have banks to rob. He can ride all the waves that he wants to ride in his free time. I'm thinking Patrick Swayze would have done the job.
All right. I mean, on a real quick side note, that was a topic of one of our shows.
Patrick
If
Swayze.
it, not quite that Patrick Swayze, but if you could pick your poison, if you could be smart or you could be clever, you couldn't have either one in this particular premise. Which would you pick, smarts or cleverness? And I went with cleverness because you don't have to be smart. If you're clever enough, you can pull off being
You think
smart.
it all
That's how he
through.
survived
So yeah,
all this time.
it's a tough choice, but I mean, I strongly think that there is a difference because I know plenty of smart people who aren't very clever at all, and mostly clever people usually get around things or get away with things, and they're not intelligent at all, but they're clever at what they do. So I think that goes a
Get away
long
with
way.
it.
All right, what are you thinking?
This is hard because
It's a tough one.
Josh can attest to this that I would be dead instead. 'Cause I just simply wouldn't be like if this came to a thing where they're like, do the first thing they'd ask me to do, I'd be like, no, and then I'd be like, then you're gonna die, and I'd be like, kill me then, because I'm
Yeah,
not
get it
gonna,
over
I'm not
with.
gonna hurt anyone. So, So anyways, so that's what. But I mean, with the Harry Potter thing, I said this before, like. It would have to be someone like Darth Vader or
Mhm.
Voldemort because of the
Mhm.
magic aspect. And you can be, way over here, and you wouldn't even have to get your hands dirty.
But he's leading the group though.
right.
Like he's just the leader.
Right. But if he's like if either of them were full power and they didn't have an opposing person
They
leading
didn't
the
have
good
an
side
arch
that was
nemesis.
also magical or like had control of the force, I just feel like you'd be unstoppable because if you have someone who doesn't have that in their wheelhouse,
Yeah,
then
and Vader was the only
they're just
Force
gonna
wielder,
be-
and there was no Jedi
they're
to
just
stop him
gonna
ever.
be right. Or same with Voldemort. If there was no Harry Potter, and he had gotten his
If he had the Deathly Hallows,
yeah.
he had them all.
they'd be either one of them would be unstoppable.
But would you want him to lead you though? Because they both killed their own people at will.
I wouldn't.
Any of these guys would.
I'll tell you why. Because again, they'd have the wherewithal to know what's coming up.
Yeah.
Because they can sense things, and Vader would through the Force would know what's coming, or if someone's hiding he could see things.
Yeah.
Man.
Same with
So, yeah.
same with like all the wizards and like. All
And if you
these,
said
they
Voldemort's name, like
they have.
Yep.
They
he could
have
hear
their
it.
ways to see things that from. It's the magic aspect. You
I
have
like
your
it.
ways to monitor things from afar
Yep.
and not ever be at risk.
Thought that was a really fun question that I saw in that particular group. That was a
I
good
take
one.
my answer back. Maybe
Oh.
still no, because
I
no,
never
you were
said
talking
no
about the cunning.
backsies. That's
oh,
it.
you did not say that. Well, you guys don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
I do.
You do. So I
Yeah.
was thinking Cersei, for the fact.
I mean that she's Jason Isaacs level, like
Well, she's
total-
cunning,
Yeah.
and it makes me think of the scene, and it's gonna be spoiled if I don't know if you guys care. Greg doesn't care
I
because
don't
he
care.
says he's never gonna watch
I
it.
don't care. I'm never gonna watch it.
Cersei got her daughter-in-law and her whole family, a family that she despised.
Spoiler alert.
I just said that.
You just want to make sure everyone.
But this is it is the best scene of Game of Thrones ever. The music is amazing. This scene is just well done in 7 minutes that it takes. She gets her whole daughter-in-law's family tree in there. She gets the whole septum, but it's like just a whole church group running the whole kingdom, not letting the royalty do what they're supposed to. She gets them all in one room. There's this thing called wildfire, and if it touches like a flame or anything, the whole thing just explodes.
And that's how they cut their payroll in
Yeah.
half on that day.
On that
Because they
show.
eliminated half of the cast in one
Is that the
episode.
red
Hundreds
wedding
of-
we talked about?
No,
No.
it's a
I
different
think
thing.
they're like giant massacres.
This is like
of
3
all kinds.
seasons
Yeah.
later, but
Yeah.
yes, the Red
Yeah.
Wedding is good.
You never
And
get
that
used
was
to a
done by
character on
Cersei.
Game of Thrones. 'cause-
No.
That's how it was with Walking Dead early on
Those-
too. They're
Yeah.
constantly picking on
Tywin.
people.
Tywin
Tywin.
Lannister, yep.
Yeah.
Still the Lannisters.
All right, so now on to Carrie's question: if you had the ability to choose who was going to get wiped out,
All of your villains.
No,
I mean-
I would not wipe out Patrick Swayze.
that's like wishing for more wishes. If you were only to get 3 wishes, I'm going to wish for more wishes.
Okay, but it makes sense if I was able to choose.
It,
so
do-
all
it
your
does
villains.
make sense.
Yeah, it
I mean, I'm not sure that'd be great for society. I'm going to choose not to do that. I'm going to go for the I'd rather go random because maybe it was meant to be that way. Who's to say? So my vote's going to be for total randomness because it'd take me forever to come up with people
Right.
who to
You
say.
see random
I don't know.
names.
That dude brought me a candy bar the one day, so he's cool, but he's usually kind of a dick. I don't know, man. That'd be the thing I dwell on forever and ever and ever.
Not to
You
mention the
sent that
billions of
snarky
people you
memo
don't.
I know.
last
Right.
Friday,
I know, man.
like, what a dick. Yeah.
He laughed when I tripped on my shoelace, so out. But
That's
he
like-
did buy me a soda.
It's like
so.
Bruce Almighty, where he's going through all of God's emails
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
just has to answer yes to all of them.
So what do you think? Would you want to pick and choose, or you want to
No,
go random?
absolutely not. Again, I would be dead.
What had
so,
happened?
And I wouldn't be able to choose anything like this. So
It's
I
a
it would
rough
just
one, yeah.
have to be random.
Yeah.
If it had to happen, I could not be a part of it.
How much time do I have? How long do I
Go
get to
for
make
it,
this
man.
decision? Because
I don't know. I mean, that's Carrie's question. You
Do
want
I
to
have
set
a
the
week?
parameters. What's
I
your
have a-
time
do
frame?
I have
Oh,
a
you
week?
get all the time you get, but
Well, then I'll choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll choose. I don't have to do it all at one time. Just kinda
billions
pick
of
and choose.
people.
Yeah.
There's 7 billion people in this world. You're gonna choose.
I mean,
3
I could
billion?
probably eliminate by region as well.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, but you
There
know,
you go.
yeah, I would choose.
Region. Like,
Screw you, Eskimos. You're out first.
Yeah, what do you mean region? That's
Well, areas.
Chicago's gone.
Like, no. Well, maybe.
Since I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys, Texas is out.
Right.
I'm kidding.
And they're cheerleaders.
Right.
I've
really-
cheerleaders can maybe. Yeah.
I've
My
never really
cousin
been a
dated
big
one.
fan of New Zealand, so I think New Zealand would probably be out
What?
for sure. Except for Flight of the Conchords, I would keep Flight of the Conchords.
Okay, they're cool.
but Then,
And what about
New
Hobbiton?
Zealand.
Would you keep Hobbiton out there?
I was
No.
gonna say, what about I mean, no.
not
Get
Peter,
outta
definitely
here.
not Peter Jackson.
Please.
He is evil. He belongs on the evil side. I'm like, who could choose these things? You're crazy.
Newfoundland, they're out first. Just
right?
because they talk funny.
Chihuahuas
But-
are out.
Greenland, you know, because
Yeah.
Greenland is ice and Iceland is nice. So I don't like that. So they're gone.
People didn't make
That's
the
a tough.
landscape.
Carrie, that's a
People
tough
didn't make the
question. That's a hard
landscape.
one.
Psh, it's fun.
Yep. I just thought of 2 other lightning round questions.
Do it, do
Alright.
it, do
I'm
it.
old. I'm sorry I forget things. Since the gist of the show was a paranormal show, so we talked a lot about ghosts, aliens, stuff like that, conspiracy theories, that sort of thing. And I forgot. I think I asked Rossi's 2 questions. So,
Yeah.
do you believe in life on other planets? What do you think? Aliens? Are they out there? Is it all mule fritters? Or do you
Yeah.
suspect it could be happening?
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, why not? I mean, it could happen.
There's a lot of space out there.
Right, there's a
If
lot of
it's
space.
empty, it'd be a big waste
Yeah,
of
we
space.
like. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We are specks of dust on a rock floating through space, and we have only been here for the tiniest fraction of time.
All
So
we are
we-
is dust in the wind.
That's
baby.
right, man. Dust in the wind. But yeah, no, I could see that being a legitimate thing.
All right, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Yeah.
All right,
I'm not like. I feel like I'm definitely more of a believer in like ghosts.
that's going to be the next question.
Oh,
Do you
okay,
believe
well,
in? Do you believe in
but-
ghosts, or is it
but-
psychobabble?
I definitely believe in ghosts. Yeah.
Have you ever seen one? Any experience? Anything you can't
No,
explain?
and I'm very thankful because I don't want to ever see one. I'm just glad.
I'm exactly the
I don't-
same way. I don't
I'm
want to
not-
know.
I'm not a prodder. I'm not like someone who likes. Like I've had friends who are like, let's go walk in the graveyard and look for this serial murderess's gravestone. Let's go. Like look for
My
this.
father's
Let's use a
cousin's
Ouija board. And I'm
brother's
like, absolutely
roommate.
not. Like I don't want to provoke anything.
Now,
no, thank
when
you.
we were on WLIP, we used a Ouija board live on the air.
Oh gosh, it's terrifying.
Let me quick throw down the story.
I was hoping you would. I was going to mention it.
Let's get your answer first, and I'm going to throw a story at you. Do you believe in ghosts? What do you think?
I don't know, maybe.
You're
I mean,
like-
I don't really
Anything-
care.
Because anything
That's
is
a Ouija
anything's
story.
possible, but is it probable?
Right.
It's a separate
I would
question.
say that it's unprobable, and but I have a
Alright.
very different set of beliefs than what
That's fine.
many people have. So yeah, I would tend to say nah. I guess it's whatever. I don't know. It's possible.
I definitely lean towards ghosts over aliens, although I think the aliens are possible.
I swear I saw
But I
a
feel like
flying
it's
saucer one day at
definitely
work.
Right.
ghosts.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was a cloudy day out,
Yeah.
and it was a silver
Like-
disc, and it went right into the clouds. I'm like,
After I watched the
Karen, those are called airplanes.
no.
what's that movie the fourth kind?
It was low.
Oh, that's a great movie. Yeah.
That scared. After I watched that one, I've never watched an alien movie that scared me, like a horror movie.
I dug into ancient
Terrifying.
Terrifying. Sumerian. I started reading all kind of books on ancient Sumeria because of that film.
That I feel like pushed me a little bit more towards the.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's scary though.
Yeah, I've got upstairs like 4 books on ancient Sumerian texts upstairs right now.
It's terrifying. I never thought of them as being so like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the gist of the Sumerians, why they're involved with that particular film, because in the beginning, there were giants upon the earth. They were called the Nephilim. And the Nephilim were from another planet called Nibiru. In our solar system, it's called Planet X. So the theory is Planet X is in some kind of weirdo elliptical orbit that shows up every once in a while. And while it was close to the Earth, they came here for gold. That's why everything started in Africa, because Africa is rich in gold. And what they needed gold dust particles to save the atmosphere on their planet because it was dying. So they were from Mars, right? They killed off Mars because the surface could survive. So they're on Nibiru, and they come to us to get gold dust to save their own atmosphere, which I always wondered why, if you watch TV nowadays, everyone wants to buy your gold. The government will buy your gold back.
Oh,
Why?
which is kind of
Selling
died
it
out
back,
though.
Men in
Kinda
Black
died out.
style.
All the gold. You know
I get
what?
it.
I was gonna say
Now
a lot
I
of
understand.
gold.
The world makes sense.
But ancient Sumeria, it was the first civilization to do anything. Right? They had the first schooling. They made beer out of artichokes. They're the first. It's true. They made butter. But who taught them how to do that? So who taught the teachers? So the theory is that the Nephilim, the giants, came to Earth, but the atmosphere is killing them. So they needed to create life to do their work. And the Sumerians were created sort of in their image to be able to mine and to stay on the planet longer than they could. That's why they were the first to do everything, because this race taught them how to do that. So I think that theory is pretty
Wow.
sexy. I don't know if it's true or not, but
Sounds
it's
a lot.
pretty damn cool.
Sounds a lot like the theory behind the Alien movies, the recent Alien movies.
Well, of course, yeah, which I love.
Which I
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
premise, by the way. I love where that's going. Yeah, it is the premise of the Alien movies. But my whole thing about the Gulf War, for a while, once Bin Laden was out of the picture, if he ever existed, by the way, I'm not sure on that one. But the point is, what are we still doing there? For what?
Mineral resources.
But to what end? So my thought was, what if the government actually believed in this? Because there hasn't been any archaeological digs in that area of the world for a long while, because it's been riddled in warfare. What if our government believes in this, and they're covering the whole thing up by having archaeological digs in what is now Iraq, which is ancient Sumeria, because we're the only ones there at the moment in time, that we're trying to come up with these artifacts to see how much of this stuff is true or not. That was my theory, and I'd watch that movie, by the way.
I dig
Someone
it.
made a movie there. That'd be a killer Indiana Jones type movie. But you go to Iraq and dig up all the shit and
I
find out the
believe
aliens are
that.
real, all that
Let's
kind of
get
stuff.
Harrison Ford.
We
What?
went.
Yeah.
We recently
Yeah,
watched.
for sure.
It was more of a dark comedy. What was it called? It was about a religious archaeologist who ended up getting hired by this like mega church, and so he had discovered some
Mega tree.
he had discovered some kind of actual like piece of religious history. Or something.
Yeah. Artifact.
And that's what he was known for.
That's his band name.
He was known for religious. Oh, okay.
Good one, Mega Church.
Mega Church.
I'm buying that album tomorrow.
And then so someone hires him to like look for specific things, and then he gets a lot of pressure, and so he starts, like baking stuff.
I want to
basically.
see this.
Yeah, I'll watch that movie.
And like it
It's
was
on Netflix.
super interesting. It was we watched it, and I was like, that was pretty good.
It sounds a little bit like Stargate. Have you guys seen Stargate?
Yeah.
It's a it's a
Isn't
great
that
movie.
what
Kurt Russell.
Ross is really into? Is
Yes.
You know what Ross just
Yeah.
got us into? Caprica.
I
Love
don't know
it.
what
Oh,
that
that's
is.
before Battlestar
I
Galactica.
love
Yeah.
it. Love
Yeah.
it. And, well, there's only 3 episodes left, so I'm really I'm not looking forward to it being over because they didn't do another season.
Oh,
So we only got
so-
three episodes left, and he said it's like that's it. I'm like,
it's like Firefly, where it only had 1 season. and
Oh,
they cut it
Firefly
off.
was great. All right, well, let me get into the Ouija board story because
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode's probably running a little long.
yeah, it's probably, yeah.
But this is fun.
But
This is
this
fun.
is
This is
worth
fun
it.
stuff. I love this.
And it's
stuff.
also, the whole story is on another YouTube video. We can put
Yeah.
the link below.
All right, so when it was on WLIP, it was for Halloween episode. I wanted to get a Ouija board and use it on the air. One of our listeners, can't think of her name off the top of my head, but anyone listens
Shirley?
to WLIP, Shirley. She's everybody's grandma. She calls up every show, every time, every moment of the day. She calls up every show. Our show is PETA for the ethical. Oh, I love animals. The next show is the hunting show. We kill animals. Oh, I love your show. Or we can't. This is the show we love the Milwaukee. Oh, I love the Brewers. Next show we hate the
Cubs.
Brewers. The Cubs are. I love the Cubs. Oh,
Just to be involved.
just to be involved. Shirley calls every show. Shirley, bless you.
They know who she is.
We know
every
who
time.
she is. So she called up and said she had a really, really old Ouija board, and she would love to bring it in the studio for us to use on air. So great. So we set it up. I did some checking. As it turns out, no radio station that I was able to find ever used a Ouija board live on the air. Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, which was our closest competition for a show, pussied out of using it because he had it booked. He had it coming, but he's like, I'm scared. Some dimensional thing's going to happen. Forget it. I don't want it. Oh, George. So the day comes in, and Scott Marcus, who was on the show. Scott, if you're watching, how do you do, Scott? He's out
He
in
follows
Hollywood.
us
He's
on
an editor, yeah.
Instagram and everything,
He's edited
so
a
he's
couple
still
of cool
involved.
movies, yeah. So Scott's there already, and I get in there early with books to irritate this thing. Whatever comes at us, whatever comes out of it, I wanted to get a reaction. Good, bad, ugly, didn't matter. So I brought in some books that if nothing happened, I was going to present these books, watch it burst in flames, watch it snow in the room. I don't care what happened, but I wanted reaction. Also, Mary Marshall was there. She's a paranormal investigator. We had cameras going.
Wow.
We videotaped the
Where
thing
is
from
this
3
footage?
different
I
angles.
know our buddy Delbert would be like.
Oh
all
my
about
gosh.
this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where the footage is now, but
Yeah.
so we get on the air, and I did a brief history of the Ouija board, and I ended with how evil can it be if Parker Brothers makes? I mean, come on, it's just it's
Pretty
a game, right?
pretty evil.
Pretty
I would
evil as
think.
it turns out.
I mean,
So then
Monopoly?
we did the brief history. We talked about it, and the whole time I have the Number of the Beast playing in the background on AM radio. I had Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast playing in the background. I'm telling all this stuff.
Oh my
I thought that was fantastic. So then we take a first commercial break, and then a commercial break, you're like, all right, who's going to talk to this thing? And they're like, nobody wants to do it. I'm like, you guys suck balls. So I'm wearing a Slayer shirt, thinking, okay.
Just
bring it.
trying to
Right.
get them to come to you.
Shirley and I decided we'll do it because we're least likely to do something stupid because we're not paranormal investigators, and I'm genuinely interested to see if something's going to happen. So we're next to each other. We put our hands on the planchette. That's a
Gotta
little
have
plastic
it
thing. We were as set as we were as right as rain it could be. So let's get some callers, and we'll have the callers ask the questions, and we'll answer the questions. Here come the stupid questions. Is it going to snow this winter? Yes. Do we? Am I going to break up with my girlfriend? Question mark. Ugh. Nothing. Stupid questions. So that took up a chunk of time. So the next commercial break hit, and then we were going to wrap it up within the first hour because Shirley's old. She has to get home. I get it.
And listen to more
was, the board was
WLIP.
pretty. I mean, it was from the 50s. It was a really neat-looking Ouija board. During the commercial break, our hands are still on the planchette, and it started to move on its own. Didn't ask it any questions. And it spelled out my name. And the room stopped like, what the hell's going on? Who asked the question? Like, nobody. It's moving, and it spelled out my name. And I'm, oh my God, Scott, it knows what I brought. Everyone shuts up. Like, wait a minute, what the hell? What the hell? Like, I told Scott that I brought books and I showed him them, but I didn't tell anybody else. Like, Jesus, what the hell did you bring in? I brought in my copies of the Necronomicon, the Satanic Bible, and the Holy Bible. The Holy Trinity of holy shit to get a response. And by God, I got one. It spelled out my name. It knew what I had done. So we had another psychic on the show. And everyone laughed. Oh, how that's funny. You did it. I'm like, Shirley and I, like, no way we touched this thing. Nothing happened.
Wow.
So we wrap it up. Shirley brought cookies. We had chocolate chip cookies.
It's a great way to...
It's a great way to wrap up a Ouija board is chocolate chip cookies.
Talking to a demon. Or
So Shirley leaves. At the end of the show, the psychic does some kind of spell over me to cast away whatever come out of the board. I'm like, groan. Now that was in October. Come the wintertime. Now in this particular house, I have a deck attached to the garage. I guess it's that away. So the bedroom is in that corner, and there's an attached deck that's outside the bedroom window. As it gets colder out, before the deck, I'm hearing in the garage this inside the garage. I'm watching TV. It sounds like someone's throwing a tennis ball up against the door in the garage. That happen all the time. Like, what the hell could that be? All right, the garage isn't insulated. Wind, wood creaks, things happen. But it kept happening, and it kept happening. So I tell Lori, and she's like, "You're stupid. You're full of beans. This isn't going to happen. You're an idiot." Get it. Totally, I'm an idiot. I got it. But then the two cats we had at the time, Willow and Smeagol, got involved. They started hearing the noise because they were reacting to the noise. I'm okay, I'm not crazy. I'm hearing some stuff. Right, well, the noise inside the garage went away. Fast forward to February. At the time, Lori was working third shift, so she slept during the day. So we rotated through the bedroom. So at nighttime, I would hear this, like a creaking noise, right? The wood was creaking outside. Wow, Jesus, you know. All right, the deck is frozen, right? So wood expands and contracts with it freezes. I mean, these things happen. But I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing it. The cats are pawing at the window. The cats, clearly, you're looking for something. They can feel something out there. Like, you gotta be shitting me. So then I start talking about this on the radio. Like, okay, here's the deal. So after the Ouija board incident, here's what I'm going through. Everyone's like, shut up, no way. I'm like, way, because now I have a witness. Lori heard it too for the first time. She's like, you know, I heard that creaking, and it happened to me during the day. That's wacky. It happens to me at nighttime. So we had Mary, the paranormal investigator. She's like, oh my God, something wants in. Whatever come on the board is trying to get into your house. I had goosebumps up my spine. I'm like, that shit. Like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, there's no way. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. So we had decided that we were going to do a paranormal investigation here in the house. So we were going to bring a team over. All these FLIR cameras, heat-sensitive cameras, are going to get the cats out of the house, and we're going to walk around the house at nighttime, and we're going to figure this out. How cool would that have been? Shirley calls. She's like, oh my God, this is happening to you. I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I love that this is happening.
I just love that it's happening.
So now, wait a minute, Shirley. Shirley, what did you do when you brought the Ouija board home? Where was the board, by the way? You know, upstairs closet, a top shelf. It's been in there for years. I'm like, okay, Shirley. Where's the board now? Did you put it away? Is it back in the same spot? Oh, let me check. She's 100 years old, right? So it takes an hour to get back. She calls back, and she didn't put it away. It's sitting on a table somewhere. I'm like, Shirley, for the sake of whatever I'm going through here, put it back where it was. You put it back on the shelf. You locked the door. Whatever it was in, put it back. And we'll reconvene in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens. It's over. Everything ended.
Really?
Everything ended.
That's crazy.
She calls back a couple of weeks later. She said, I put the board away. Did you figure it out? I'm like, Shirley, everything stopped. I can tell you what day you put the board away. It was 2 days after the show because that's when, oh my God, you're right. I don't know what that was or what happened.
Oh, Shirley.
But that was what I went through after using a Ouija board.
What if she takes it out soon?
Well, I haven't touched it since then.
She probably can't reach it anymore.
I mean, I'm going to call that certainly unexplainable.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what that
insane.
was, or I mean, maybe it was the weather all this time, but that was a pretty curious thing that as
Just
soon as she puts the
backfire.
board away, everything stopped cold. I would have shit my pants if I'd have found something of hers in the house. We wouldn't be here right now. For the record, I'd have moved.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
Yeah.
that would have been that.
But as you know from all horror movies,
Nobody
that
does.
shit's gonna follow
Who
you.
doesn't?
Yeah,
Not always. Sometimes it's a house, like
It's a
in
haunted
horror,
house.
Yeah.
You know. Anybody? Bless you.
Thank you.
There was a spirit within her escaping right there.
Ah.
Through the seat. So yeah, that's my experience with a Ouija board. Ugh. I can't
Adam's
explain.
grandma she put on Facebook, she's like, I'm looking for a Ouija board, guys. We're
Of
like,
course.
Nana, why do you want to summon the devil? Like, what are you doing? And we're like, she's like, it's just a joke, guys. But then it turned into a whole thing. Like, apparently there's a woman living in their trailer. And she's like, yeah, it passed in front of me the other day. She's not mean, but I just want to talk to her. And we're like, Nana, using a Ouija board can let anything in. It's it opens the gates to let anything come in, any spirits. She's like, they're good spirits. That's just all I want to use it for.
See, that's
Why
one
can't
thing that we found on the radio show.
Exactly.
During the radio show, everyone always wanted to talk about, oh, it's a white light, it's a good spirit. All right, but aren't there bad spirits? Oh, no, shh, you can't. It's only good. Okay, but
It
if there's
allows
a good,
anything
isn't
to
there a
come
bad?
in.
I mean, isn't that the yin yang of life,
Yeah,
man?
right. There's
You got peanut butter, you
Yeah.
got jelly. I mean,
You
there's
got
an opposite.
good people and bad people on Earth. Like when they die, where do they go? I mean, they're both
Mhm.
still.
That was the great debate
thing
on the
is-
radio
The
show.
thing is, if we believe that there's an afterlife, then they're both going somewhere.
Right.
Then
So,
Jeffrey Dahmer's
all
ghost
your
is somewhere
murders
mutilating
and-
people as
and
we
your-
speak. I mean, we don't know.
Again,
We're picking on
But what
Dahmer,
if they
sorry.
were? Oh, it's a whole like when religion comes in. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what if they're born again? You know what I mean? Like,
After you
So-
die, I feel like it's.
that's how I was raised. My mom, we went to Christian church or whatever.
No,
and it was
I
just
like.
like,
Oh my gosh, so much church. So
and it
much
was just
church.
like, well, if you're born again, as long as you ask for forgiveness, you'll go to heaven.
Before you
I
die.
feel like it should be
Before
more
you
Before
die.
you die,
Should
sure.
it be harder
Say
to
a
do that?
murderer did
Sure.
do that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And
yeah.
I'm just like,
I always wonder that too. Yeah, I mean that's
Why
how I was,
would they
that's
go
how I
there
was
then?
raised as well. That's how I was raised as well.
Well, this has been fun.
It
we
is.
got to get you guys
Yeah,
on.
we got to get you guys back on again. The name of this
Yeah.
episode, I'm calling it again, I Stole It from Terminator. If you can hear this, you are the resistance, because we have resistance with us today. I want to thank you guys both for joining us. man.
Thank
This
you
has
so
been an absolute
much.
blast.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much.
I just need to wave my wand a little bit more.
And
Wave the
Kadabra! See, you could kill all our villains just with that spell.
But
it's
I
unforgivable.
wouldn't because
Shit, I did it again.
yes.
Bye-bye.
I think this year for Halloween we need to be Harry Potter themed for the band. Yeah. Oh yeah, I never
Be
talked
nice.
about the Terminator. I'll tell you.
Oh, and we also got to do the what am I'm blanking. The girls from Hercules,
Oh yeah.
the muses.
All right, well, thank you very much for
Thank you,
watching
guys.
the Mothership Connection. This was episode number 36. I usually don't keep count, but I think it's a great time that we're keeping going forward. And as of today, did we hit 100 subscribers?
We hit 101 today. Thank you guys for helping too, because
Thank
I
you
know
so
you've been
much.
very adamant of sharing our stuff too. So
Now,
thank you.
I forgot about this last
Of course.
episode. Now, I know we've run long on this one, but I want to go. So, how does someone get a hold of Resistance? How do they hear your material? Do you have a website, email? How do they get a hold of you guys? Go for it.
ResistanceRocks.com has both of our 2 singles up right now, Suffocate and Resist. You can see all of our show dates and tour dates and keep up to date with the band.
And-
Like them on Facebook.
Yes.
And if you're still watching and you're into the Harry Potter like me and Scott, our drummer who's not here right now, we have a song called The Boy Who Lived. So
And it's
It'll be-
amazing.
It'll be on our new EP.
They
And
played it
Carrie-
at the last concert.
and Carrie got
had
a free.
sneak peek,
Carrie got a
yes.
sneak peek
She's
of the
heard-
You
recording.
guys are so
Really
cool.
nice.
she's heard the mastered version, which not very many people have heard. So.
Nice.
It's pretty great.
All right, Carrie, how can people get a hold of us?
All right, we got the Facebook fan page, Mothership Connection. Then we got the friend page, which is Gregory DeGuire / Mothership, just because we can't use.
It's a long
that
story.
name.
When I first created the Facebook page for the Mothership Connection, Facebook allowed not proper names.
Exactly.
But now, since we
Which is
rebooted
ridiculous.
the show, Facebook changed its rules. It was the only way that I knew to keep all the old friends from the Facebook page was by changing it to my proper name. So I'm not being vanity. It's not vain. And this is the
We
only
just
thing
needed something without
is we
deleting
just
it.
needed something to keep the page
We got
together.
2,000
so.
people on there.
Yeah, I
so
didn't want to.
That's
I didn't want to lose all that,
Yeah,
so
but
we kept it
nobody-
under my name.
Not a lot of people respond, so get
And
them all.
maybe it's time to. Well, Maybe
Yeah,
it's time to do something.
If you
Do
could
something
snap your
different.
fingers and get
Do
rid of
something
half of them, would
different.
you pick or would it be
That's right.
random?
That's right.
I would pick them on this account.
There you go.
Wait,
Now you know why I answered that way.
do we have an Instagram too? Also,
We have an Instagram now. We've had for a couple of months, and it's been very active. So follow that, and then also on YouTube.
nice.
No Twitter.
No Twitter.
Twitter sucks.
Who
I hate
tweets?
Twitter.
Who does it
Here.
anyways?
We don't do anything. We neglect our Twitter so
I
hard.
know.
It's a wasteland.
I have it for us, but I don't use it because I think it's boring.
Hey, let's thank our
Twitter
audience
is-
member real quick. Thank you, audience
Thanks,
member.
Vicky.
All right, this has been the Mothership Connection. Signing off until next time. Thank you for watching.